After 58 episodes, we're finally here, at the true climax of DKC 2. Stepping into this strange, otherworldly temple, the Kongs are greeted by the returning Krool. Having survived his encounter with the sharks, he somehow beat the Kongs to the beating heart of the island. Whether he wound up here by chance or by design, and whether he understands the significance of the core's power or not, we'll never know for sure. All we know is that he must never be allowed to use it. This is part 59 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 2. This is a truly unique level. It's the only appearance of the Altar tile set, which is a huge departure from the pirate theme of the game, and more into Indiana Jones territory. It's very tenuously hinted at with the appearance of the jungles in the Lost World, but that's it. It's almost got a sort of Pirates of the Caribbean vibe to it, going from typical pirate fare to ancient civilization's hidden power. And that in itself is a revelation. But it was originally going to be a much bigger twist, but I am getting ahead of myself. It's a trope we'll see in future games, like the Uncharted and Tomb Raider series, but I think it's done well here, and it's certainly not something most people would expect. This is the most lopsided fight in the entire trilogy. Lopsided is a funny word, and probably not the correct one here, but it's the best my Swiss cheese brain can do right now. What I mean by it is you only need to land a single hit to win the fight, but you won't get a chance until Krool has thrown everything but the kitchen sink at you. Once he's shaken off the seaweed and emptied the fish from his blunderbuss, Krool launches a volley of different attacks your way, starting with a single shot of purple gas. Quick reminder, the purple gas inverts the D-pad. After that single shot, it's alternating spiked balls, 2 mid-range, low, high, mid, followed by 2 purple shots, low, then high. 8 spiked balls alternating low and high, with the last 2 a little closer together. 3 mid-range gas shots, followed by 8 mid-range cannonballs, each one a little faster than the one before. 2 gas shots, with the second shot moving faster and overtaking the first. The next volley of spiked cannonballs follows a similar pattern. 3 groups with an additional fast shot tacked onto the end of each one. Gas shots, low, medium, high. Ditto cannonballs, followed by the opposite, then elaborated on with 3 rising shots and 1 high, and the opposite, 3 descending shots and 1 low. By my count, that's 57 projectiles you've got to dodge. But if you've made it this far, the next one's a barrel containing a cannonball. Pop it into Krool's blunderbuss and watch the fireworks. During development, it was at one time planned to have Clubber be the final boss of DKC 2. How cool would that have been? This guy, the only Kremling we could almost call an ally, has been playing the Kongs this entire time. Even though this didn't make it into the final game, it casts a shadow over the game nonetheless. Different sources say different things, but it's more likely that Clubber's sprites from the fight were recycled for Cudgel's boss battle, as opposed to both being worked on simultaneously. It makes even more sense when you realize that Clubber's death animation would have played out like Krool's does here, flying up and into the power source. And Cudgel's death animation perfectly fits that mold. The altar itself looks awesome and oddly well preserved, but the main thing I want to talk about are the statues. Cruncher statues hold up the ceiling, Critter statues stand guard at the altar, and even Krool's profile is on one of the shields. This place is hundreds, maybe thousands of years old. Same as Kremlantis, same as the ruins on DK Island, same as your mum's dusty cooch. To me, this confirms the theory I have been talking about over the course of the series, most noticeably in the previous episode. The Kremlings are in a cycle. Critters come back as Clomps, Clomps come back as Cobbles, Cobbles come back as Critters again, but this time in a cool sleeveless jacket. The altar is proof that this cycle has been enduring for hundreds, probably 1,000 years or more. And if the shield is anything to go by, the Krool archetype is always at the top of the food chain. Further proof that the heads that ring the base of the castle might look like Krool, but could be a sort of Mount Rushmore for the long past kings of the Kremlings. But this is mostly all stuff we've covered already. As for Krool being here at the end, we know he was well aware of the Lost World before the events of the game. But had he been to the altar before? Does he know how to use its power? Maybe knocking him out of the flying croc and into the sea was a moment of serendipity for him, where, as he swam away from the sharks, he wound up here by accident and sought to use the island's energy to get his revenge. The ships, the ghosts, the cyclical nature of the Kremlings, the magic, maybe it's all due to the power of the island. That same power could be what sunk Kremlantis or drove the Kremlings from DK Island. Maybe by destroying the island here, the Kongs inadvertently saved the Kremlings from their own curse. Maybe this trilogy is really a 2-part story, and the third game is a sort of epilogue or something. There's a lot of stylistic choices between the 3 that back this up too. In that sense, it's kind of a happy ending, right? DK's back, and the Kremlings will no longer be the bastards we know them to be, because they're not laboring under a curse. Alright, we are finally done. The journey started way back in late 2023, for me at least. It took longer than I wanted it to, but I'm also pretty damn happy with it. I think I like it more than the original DKC series, but seeing as we're already halfway through the DKC 3 series, I think that one's gonna turn out a lot better than this one. It's not a competition, but yeah. I think as long as my work is gradually improving, I can't be too upset, right? Anyway, the game's over. DK, Diddy, and Dixie watch Crocodile Isle sink into the sea, as Krool escapes on a raft, ready to lick his wounds and try again. We've got one more video to go, a very laid-back debrief for us all to chill out to. See you then, and thanks for watching.